Because you are welcome to join us. We are live on X Spaces, on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course on myjoyonline.com with the Joy News channel. Now, let's start from the Northern Regional Capital, Tamale, where there is heavy security presence at the Tamale Technical University. And this follows violent clashes between police and students during a campus protest.
Brought to the hospital, get in the course of the demonstration.
Well, as you may be aware, 3 students sustained varying degrees of injuries and are receiving medical care at the hospital. The students were protesting what they describe as systemic neglect of their welfare, alleging misappropriation of funds and a proposed fee increment without justification. The demonstration, however, turned chaotic when security personnel moved in to disperse the crowd, leading to the reported injuries. Now, Martina Bugri is our Northern Regional correspondent, and he joins me on the phone. Martina, first, let's start from the genesis. And they protested what they describe as systemic failure in terms of fixing challenges relating to the institution. Walk us through these systemic challenges that they spoke of.
The students list some issues they said they have confronted management of the school to help address. And they talked of paying medical fee for screening exercise, which they said is not done. And they talk of their washrooms and where they use not being kept well. The students say most of them do open defecation. There are other fees like satellite fee, development fee. They say they pay every year, but they don't see any improvement in terms of infrastructure on campus. They have also talked of, some are also alleging that the school intends to do 100% increment of their fees because they are saying that year 2s who are paying 2,000 now are expected to pay about 4,000. That is what the students are claiming. And so these are some of the issues that brought about what happened today. We are told that they have negotiated with the school management team and it didn't help. And so they served notice that they were going to protest today. This morning, they went through to some chief palaces in the city to present their petition to these chiefs. And so when they were coming back, they blocked the main entrance to the school. They set some tires ablaze, but that was controlled. And so they moved into the school campus onto the pavement where the administration block is. The police arrived, and then when they got down, they tried to calm them to stop. But it didn't go well with the students. Some, I'm told, from the back started pelting stones. Because from the angle we stood, we didn't see that. But my cameraman, who was in the middle, said some students pelted stones. And in response, the police started spraying water on the students to disperse the crowd. Within that space of time, there were also gunshots, which later on we saw the rubber bullets being shown to us that these were they hit some students. Now, I spoke to one of the students who had just been hit. He had about 4 or so marks indicating the bullets had hit him. And he said he was feeling dizzy, so they were going to whisk him to the hospital, so we could not speak to him at that point. But when we went through to the washrooms where they complained about, it looked very terrible, a place no one would love to feel comfortable. We went to some other places on the campus, the students' leadership led us to, and then we went to the hospital. At the hospital, we tried to talk to some of the injured. Only one person we were able to speak to, but the others were told that they were not stable and so will not be allowed to speak to them. And so this is what happened till what at the time we reported the first one. Now we were able to speak to the Public Affairs Directorate of the university, and they said that they have tried in the past to come to an agreement with the students, but that had failed.
All right.
And so with what has happened today, they are going to go back on the drawing board with the students again and try to come out with something that would resolve the issue.
Right.
Now, he would not talk about the substance of the matter.
All right. So
he would not.
Yes, Martina,
yes, he will not go into detail on the issues they are raising. But all he says is that after they had done with the discussions, he would bring us up to speed on their agreements.
Right. I just wanted to listen to one of the injured students you spoke to, and then his own account of events.
We are having our peaceful demonstration, which we want to management to carry out our programs today, and also how we can solve it. And when we got there, to our notice, police came in and giving warning shot. So many had to run. Well, there were ladies among us, and some too, because of the gunshot, they were afraid. So we decided to run for our lives. And on the process of running, I was also running with a lady. And then one of the gunshot we had, shot over there, caught the glass. So the glass was falling on us, so I have to put the lady in front of me and protect myself as well. And it fell on me. So I had a serious cut on my head, also my hand. So I came and just straight.
So for you, is the glasses, the broken glasses?
The glasses, the broken glasses. And also, even on my head, I have to forcibly pull one out in order to minimize the pain that was in. But so far, I know of 3. I don't know of others, but I know of 3 for now.
Including yourself?
Including myself. So far, I was receiving treatment.
Thank you.
Right. So, Martina, I mean, what is the situation on campus now? Is it calm?
So, whilst the back and forth was going on, the students, the student leadership themselves were able to calm the young men down, and then they stopped the brouhaha that was going on. Then they moved to their various hostels. But you will still find some in groups talking about what just happened. The area is back to normalcy, and they are believing that with what has happened, they'll be able to come to an agreement.
Right. Martina, thank you so much for this update. And let me now bring in the Public Relations Officer of the Graduate Students Representative Council, Al-Hassan Huzaifa. Al-Hassan, good afternoon and welcome to the Pulse.
Good afternoon, sir.
Right. So
thank you so much.
Great. So exactly what are the issues that you are facing on campus that push you to take to the streets of Tamale this morning?
Basically, the two face a lot of problems, but we have enumerated a few of it. Some of it are the poor sanitary conditions on campus, poor landscaping, and then inadequate lecture halls, as well as open defecation on campus. And these have been issues that we've been battling with engaged management for some time now to resolve some of these issues, but to no avail. And quite apart from that, we also have some satellite campuses that are at Wudisi, Yendi, as well as Wale. And these satellite campuses have students at those areas, but they have ceased to operationalize them for some time now, since last semester. So all this, and we also have, again, some students at the university at the undergrad level who had their diploma, after completion of their diploma courses for some time now, they have not been certified. So all of these things are part of the reasons that got us onto the streets today.
And how bad is the sanitary condition there?
Disastrous. You see, these sanitary conditions at the university, they are too appalling in the sense that nobody would wish even the enemy to occupy such places. We took some of your or your reporters to some of these places, and they could not believe that this was happening at a university. And then as a matter of fact, the sanitary conditions cannot be described. And it's one of the reasons why we are demanding that these must, be worked.
Yes, hello, Al-Hassan, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
So we'll also briefly, but I understand that on university campus, members of TEU are sometimes responsible for maintaining, some of these facilities and ensuring that the place is conducive for teaching and learning. You're saying that they are not at work or the place has just been abandoned?
Please, are you talking in respect of the sanitation?
Exactly.
Yes, what we can say is that, indeed, we may have people who are supposed to do the cleanup exercise or the cleanup for us. But the question is that if they are not provided with the materials that they are supposed to work with, how then do they get the... Are you getting it?
Yes.
So, we are telling them this issue is something that the school is aware. They are of the open defecation on campus. Are you getting it? It's not something that is in secrecy. Even some of the... Even some of the or other sanitary facilities that are on campus that are used by the lecturers are nothing to write home about. And all these are pressing needs. So if students cannot use the washroom, they cannot use the bathroom, where do you expect them to free themselves? You will see that some of them are exposed, like education, and then some too as well from the general public are also just defecating on campus. And all these are worried the body.
And where do you put the blame?
Basically, we put it at the doorstep of management. As the saying goes, if fish is going to rot, it starts from the head. Are you getting it? If they are aware of these situations and they do not work on it, who are we going to blame? Are you getting it? Quite apart from that, the satellite campuses that are collapsed, are you getting it? That are not in operation. We have students who are paid fees. Are you getting it? And yet there is nothing happening. Who are we going to blame if not management? Quite apart from that as well, the lack of certification for these students who have completed their diploma courses, I think with respect with accounting students, and they have not been given the certificate. Who will we blame? Are you getting it? Because certificates are awarded by the university and not by GRASAC or the SRC. Are you getting it? All these are prompting issues. You wouldn't believe it. Even the landscaping on campus, when your reporter saw it, it was just nothing to write home about. Erosions all over. We asked ourselves, this is a university that is of high standard, but when you look at the environment, it does not depict its name. Are you getting it?
Right.
Erosion all over. Even in the middle, we sat down with them, came out with a report, and then we told them what we were thinking. And that was fine. But we never got any response from them.
Right. And I understand that this matter, because of this matter, the leadership, you were invited by Yoko.
Oh, yes, we've been invited. We are here to honor it.
You are here to appear before Yoko, is it?
Yes, please.
So this is related to the demonstration or your grievances?
Yes, it's a mixture. They are interested in the grievances that we have raised, and they want to see how best they can help in resolving that issue.
But obviously, this demonstration started peacefully. You went to a chief palace, and later you decided to block the main road.
You see, this demonstration started peacefully. It started peacefully. We were, moving with the police when they joined us entrance there. We took a walk all the way from the university campus, headed to Hilltop, and from Trowi Hilltop, we returned back to the school. But what happened was that when we got to the school campus, actually some of the student body decided to light up from about 3 times for the campus. Some of us were even infuriated because of that, because we are there to drum home our demand and not to cause any distraction to the school property. We are against any distraction of school property. So when that issue came up, we engaged. I was even seen fetching water to go off the fire. But what we saw was that all of a sudden, we saw a police water cannon vehicle to the compound and started spraying water on students. And what do you expect from the students? The students also retaliated. Finally, we told them that before this issue can be resolved, the police should move out their water cannon vehicle and they should retrieve and make us to take charge of our students. And when they did that, camp restored, and then we proceeded.
But I'm asking, why did you block the road, which was not part of your initial arrangement with the police?
Why did we block the road?
Right.
No, the roads were accessible. We didn't block any road because there was free flow of traffic on the roads.
The police reaction, according to what we are hearing, is because you had blocked the main road and was impeding flow of traffic.
You see, if even you contact your reporters, they will tell you that we had an encounter with the police at the administration block in the building and not at the roadside. So if they are telling us that we blocked a road, well, is there a road at the administration block? I get it. Yeah. Somebody's not telling the truth. Because we had the banter with the police, and there are videos that we can share with you. And it's on social media as we speak. We had a banter with them on the administration, front gate, and not on the road. So if they are telling us that we blocked a road and that necessitated their response, certainly it's not true.
So how many of your members are injured as we speak?
5.
5 of your members are injured?
Yes, please.
And what resulted in that? I mean, what about the confrontation that got them injured?
You see, when they started, releasing the water cannon water, spreading them with water, so that was what the police, the students started pelting stones at them. And by then, when they got there with the water cannon vehicle, they got down and started firing warning shots. And that resulted in some of these injuries that we have seen.
Right. So what next for leadership of the students' body? Now that you've had your demonstrations, you've put forth your grievances, what is next for you?
We are just telling them that this is a dress rehearsal, and we are not going to bow down on our demands. We've been silent for far too long. We were asleep and we have now woken up. We are telling management to wake up. They should also rise up. Together, we will make Tattoo better for all of us.
All right.
Not until our demands are met, we will not relent on them. Our demands are something the university can meet instantly, without any delay.
All right. Well, let me try and get some answers for you. Thank you very much, Al-Hassan. Is the public relations officer with GRASAC, that's the Graduate Students Association of the university, the Tamale Technical University. Also joining me is the public relations director for the Tamale Technical University, Osman Mubarak. Mr. Mubarak, good time to have you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Pulse. Hello, Mr. Mubarak.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ed.
Great to have you. So, a very, tense morning you had over there, but how are you resolving the matter with the students?
For now, I will say that everything is calm. We have been able to manage to bring the situation under control. Management is just about to get into a crisis meeting in the next 5-10 minutes. So to take a decision what to do next. But I have to indicate that this particular incident is regrettable. It's regrettable. And it's unfortunate. We shouldn't have gotten to this point. So we are just getting into a meeting to see how best we can continue to engage the students to find an amicable solution to their grievances. Demonstrations, I have indicated earlier on that demonstrations are legitimate to employ by aggrieved persons, which they have. But escalating it to this particular point is the source of confusion. I mean, we have witnessed series of demonstrations in the university, but we have never gotten to this point. And that is the headline. I mean, escalating the protest to this point where the police will have to crack them down. I mean, and it's just unfortunate. But we are reassuring them that we will continue to engage them to find amicable solution to their concerns. It takes two to tango. We will continue to stress that harm reconciliation, because that's the reason why we are university staff.
Right.
Without them, a university has no business functioning. So we put a lot of premium on them, but unfortunately we have to get to this.
But Mr. Mubarak, they are unhappy with the sanitary conditions there. In fact, our reporter corroborated the concern of the students when she said that the conditions under which the students are asked to, for example, go and take their bath, use the washroom, is simply nothing to write home about. Why is it so?
I will respectfully, I'm going to plead with you so that you restrict our conversation on this particular crisis. We can find time and get into the context, the nitty-gritty of what has happened. But for now, let's restrict ourselves to how to get out of this crisis. We are in a crisis situation.
But that's the foundation of the crisis. That is the foundation of the crisis.
Exactly. So, if you permit me the space, we can talk about the nitty-gritty after our meeting, so that at least we'll have a comprehensive conversation of some of their concerns are very legitimate concerns that best have to give. So, we are not guarding their concerns. There are things that we have to sit down with them and also help us see how best we can sort this thing out. It is tango. So I will respectfully pray that maybe in the evening we can talk about the nitty-gritty of it. But for now, the temperature is high. And if you permit me, we can have that conversation.
Because they say that they've been raising these issues for months and they are not getting the response. The reason why they decided that then they should embark on this industrial action to press home their demand. And you say that...
I have earlier on indicated that their demands, they have the right to raise their concerns. If I'm a student and I'm an institution and I feel like the institution is supposed to honor their obligation, I have honored my obligation as a student by faith. The university don't have the spirit to honor one of it. And they are not... It is not up to for them to see. It's not. But this is the source of confusion. And we don't want to get to the worst case where the university will have to be closed down by the government. No, we will have to deal with it within the shortest possible time, so the academic exercise will continue by tomorrow or tomorrow next.
Is it the university responsibility to fix fees, or this is done by central government?
We are. This. I am telling you that you are pushing me to get into what I don't want to talk about now, because we are going to discuss it in the next 10 minutes, and I'll get back to you on the content of their grievances. I am not saying in any way that they don't have consent. They are legitimate. Most of them are legitimate, but dealing with the issues, maybe the strategy will differ. So respectfully, once again, let's talk about the nitty-gritty of it. Maybe during your 6 o'clock news or tomorrow morning. That's when I will be in a better position to furnish the public what is happening or what has not happened.
So this crisis meeting, what exactly is a crisis meeting going to consider?
Unless I get in there, I've just been invited to a meeting. For now, to reveal to you the content of it, I'll be misleading you.
All right.
The public.
All right. Then we'll wait for the outcome of this crisis meeting. Hopefully, we'll get to understand.
I truly appreciate. I truly appreciate that.
All right. Thank you so much. And Osman Mubarak is the public relations officer with the Tamale Technical University. Now, from Tamale, let me bring you to Accra, because there was also another demonstration. Drivers, traders, and market women earlier today poured onto the streets of Accra's central business district, protesting what they describe as the unlawful takeover of lands allocated for lorry station at the Cocoa Marketing Board area. The traders, together with the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, marched from the Ridge roundabout the Jubilee House, accusing private developers, allegedly backed by the Railway Authority, of encroaching on their stations. The aggrieved protested also presented a petition at the president, citing acts they allege are sanctioned by the chief of the Achimwenchi Dasebre, Dr. Sumadu Nyako Apia.
Built a whole 3 cluster story buildings, and then this year we are there, we've not said anything. He has come back to say he's claiming the second land that we are selling on. Look at us. I've been a single parent for 20 years. I've been a single parent for 20 years. I have 4 kids taken care of, 3 boys and a girl. My last one is in Legon, level 300. My brother, my first son completed tech and is still at home not working. He is not working because I have no connection anywhere. Me myself, I have certificates. I have no one to employ me because my father has no connections. Look at us. This is our source of livelihood. And this very man wants to take our happiness. He wants to take our source of livelihood. What does he want us to do? Are we not Ghanaians? The government should ask us. We are asking the government. We are asking the ministers. We are asking Ghanaians. We are asking, are we not, even if we are market women, are we not Ghanaians? We are educated. Some of us, if we have connections in government, we would have been working with the white, we have a white collar job to do. But for we not having people to support us in our whatever we do, we have to go to the market, put our certificates down somewhere. Me, I am close to my 60s. I'm 51. I have just 9 years to complete from active service, so I cannot go back to the white collar job. So this is what I'll do to feed my kids. Just recently, we were there when the Sibra Dr. Sumadu Nyako Apia, the paramount chief of Akim Wenchi, said that the land has been given to him by the same railways. And one of his men, his name is Moses, told me that Sibra have informed him that it got to a point that Ghana Railways, they don't even have money to pay the workers. So it was he, Sibra, who gave Ghana Railways money to use it to pay their workers. That is why Railways released the land to him. But we all know that in this country, a land that you have been on the land for so many years, nobody can come and claim the land that the land belongs to him. The land belongs to the government. And we have been there for more than 30 years. So if government want to release the land for somebody, we will be the first that government will have to contact us.
Right, so those are the concerns of the traders, and they presented their petition to the presidency. Let's take a short break here on the post. When we return, we'll talk about state of emergency being pushed to be declared in mining areas, and whether or not government is bound to pressure as the Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference become the latest to add their voice to this particular. We'll also hear from the acting Chief Justice on the matter of illegal mining. Well, welcome back. This is the pulse here on Joy News. Now, I mean, this matter of illegal mining, will not go away anytime soon. Now, calls are intensifying for government to declare a state of emergency as the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference adds its voice to civil society, insisting that government must adopt a radical approach to tackle illegal mining in the hardest hit areas. Now, in a strongly worded statement, the bishops described the devastation of rivers, forests, and farmlands as a grave sin against God, and warned that the destruction poses an existential threat to Ghana's future. The conference is also making sweeping demands to end the Galamsey surge. My colleague Caleb Ziblem joins me in the studio with details of that statement. So, Caleb, walk us through what the Catholic Bishop Conference is saying.
Yes, Elton, so they are not happy. And then they see the current fight against Galamsey as half-measured. So they don't think that the state is being forceful in trying to combat Galamsey as the state should do. And they have you can go to the next slide. They've been speaking about some of the things that so far they've identified. And one of the things is that politicians and high-ranking individuals are complicit in the Galamsey fight. So they believe that the states should go after these people, the politicians, the MPs, and they have a list of them.
Right.
MPs, MMDCs, politicians, and other party executives are all part of the problem of Galamsey. And they believe that the state needs to go against these individuals head-on. Now, they've come up with a list of directives for the government. I counted about 7 of them.
Right.
But then there are 4 main ones that we should go through. The first one is that they want dedicated Galamsey courts established by the Chief Justice or by the judiciary. And we know the Chief Justice has been speaking about this. And he has even made calls that he's thinking about setting up a special court for galamsey cases. So that's one of the main issues that the College Bishop Conference are
talking about. And very soon we'll hear from the acting Chief Justice, who is also not mentioning words regarding the issue of galamsey.
Yes, and also they say that a special anti-galamsey task force needs to be set up. And there's a similar one being
already underway.
Yes, 9 months has been set up.
Right.
I don't know if the Catholic Bishop Conference wants something else, because they say a permanent corruption-proof anti-galamsey task force. So I don't know if the NAMOS does not fit under this category according to the Catholic Bishop Conference. Also, they want a state of emergency declared. It should be targeted in the mining areas and also the water bodies. Also, they want the government to revise and enforce existing mining laws and enforce stricter penalties. I know under this administration there's been a controversial directive that illegals, foreigners who have been caught engaging in galamsey are deported instead of being persecuted in the country. So that's also something that the Catholic bishops have been talking about. Now, something interesting from the statement is that they said in January and May 2025, they met with President Mahama and then speaking on the galamsey issues. And according to them, his responses focused narrowly on economic gains.
From the sector? From
the illegal mining fight. They say they spoke with Mahama in January and May 2025, and then his responses to them on the illegal mining seem to be focused narrowly on economic gains. So when we speak to them, we should understand what that conversation was with President Mahama, then his responses that made them believe that he was focused on economic gains and not fully into the fight against illegal mining. And then also, they say based on, mainly because of the media press that President Mahama did a few days ago, that he seems to be downplaying the issue and that a full force of the state needs to be taken head on to be able to stop this galamsey issue.
All right, thank you very much, Caleb. And so that's the Catholic Bishops' Conference making this particular demand. They are also demanding the declaration of a state of emergency in the mining areas. Well, they are not alone. The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, is also warning that public universities could be brought to a standstill in the coming days if decisive action is not taken by government. The association is threatening to withdraw its services in protest. Professor Akudugu reiterates that UTAG will proceed with shutting down public universities as outlined in their July 17, 2025 statement if a state of emergency is not declared.
I believe that something drastic has to take place for us to be able to effectively deal with this demonstration. And so whatever we said, we still stand by it. We are having our biennial Congress just the end of the month. And so a final decision as to how to proceed will be made on that point.
We are sure that there should be drastic decision, and a drastic decision include you holding on to your shutdown of public universities.
Correct. Have you heard of the water shortage in the central region? The University of Cape Coast is not exempted from that shortage. The pollution and all the health implications associated with galamsey. University lecturers and students are not exempted from that. So this is a matter of life and death. And so it is when you are healthy and you are alive that you'll be thinking about going to school. We're thinking about being able to learn and be able to focus. That aside, if you look at it, we are the people who train, at least at the last end of the human resource. We are the funnel or the gatekeepers. And we train our students in environmental sustainability and all the rest of it. So how do we continue? What am I going to tell my students about preserving the environment at this point in time when the environment is being destroyed at the rate that will put all of us at risk?
Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni has also called on national leaders to implement bold, far-reaching measures to eradicate the existential threat of illegal small-scale mining, galamsey, if you like. Now, his remarks were delivered on his behalf by Justice Hafi Sata Amaleboba at the opening of the 2025 Ghana Bar Association Conference, currently underway in Wa, in the Upper West region.
The company limited continues to warn of a severe water crisis in the near future if immediate action is not taken to address this problem. Galamsey has stripped away topsoil and vegetation, leading to severe erosion and rendering land unusable for farming. The landscape of affected communities is scarred by excavation, leaving it barren and prone to further damage. Socially, it has contributed to the displacement of farmers, farm hands, and whole families as farmlands are converted to mining sites. It has also increased poverty and potential health issues due to contaminated water and mercury exposure, impacting food security and the livelihoods of several local communities. Economically, while providing some income, the environmental damage and shifts from agriculture has led to higher living costs and lower food production in affected regions. How can we also forget the national security challenges brought about by the menace of Galamsey, as the influx of illegal miners, often accompanied by foreigners, have been linked to an increase in criminal activities in affected communities. The repeal and replacement of the small-scale gold mining law, PNDC Law 218 of 1989, by the Minerals and Mining Act 703 in 2006 to provide a more comprehensive and regulatory framework for small-scale mining has not eliminated illegal small-scale mining. Indeed, in the years after, Galamsey has become worse as the measures we have employed to combat Galamsey seem half-hearted and unable to curb this menace, which is a threat to the country's survival. Considering the unspeakable death, pain, and destruction that Galamsey has brought to this country, I urge political leadership to take bold and far-reaching measures to bring this menace to a long overdue end.
And as a speech by the Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni read on his behalf at the ongoing Bar Association conference in the Upper West Regional Capital, Wadamiwa government spokesperson Felix Kwachofosu, speaking on the Super Morning Show, said President Mahama has not entirely ruled out declaring a state of emergency.
On the matter of state of emergency, you are right. The President said that there are conventional approaches that are currently being deployed that he believes would help us achieve the objective of wiping out this canker once and for all. And that when it becomes necessary, a state of emergency may be declared. The reason being that, a state of emergency is a pretty severe measure. I'm sure you are fully aware. It essentially means that you set aside laws as they are and adopt extraordinary, sometimes very harsh, very drastic measures in order to beat back a particular problem. It comes with its own difficulties. And therefore, the declaration of same must be based on tangible reasoning. You must have sufficient basis to do that, so that you are very clear that the consequences that will result will be worth the effort. And as president, you do know that he has to take that decision on the basis of information available to him and what he perceives to be the capabilities of the assets that he has deployed to fight this canker. He believes earnestly that currently some gains are being made that could be sustained. And as and when we get to a stage where it is absolutely necessary to deploy those measures, that will create some discomfort for ordinary citizens and may involve measures that may not necessarily be in tandem with the way that our laws should function and all that. He will take the decision as later. So let me say that he has not ruled out a state of emergency. He just believes that we need to give ourselves a bit more time.
Well, let's move away from Galamsey. And the Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority, Wisdom Okudeku, has revealed that the Ghana Revenue Authority has opened discussions with the authority over its indebtedness of over 376 million cedis. A technical team, he says, has been set up to work the modalities for the payment. The NIA weeks ago disconnected the GRA from its identity verification system after the tax authority failed to settle a debt. The development disrupted clearance of goods at the port as importers, some of them, were unable to do so. Now, speaking at an event to mark this year's National ID Day, Mr. Deku said GRA has since approached the authority for talks, but stressed that the system will only be restored once payment is effected.
Per the fees and charges, GRA was one of our off-takers. So there was an MOU we signed with them that they were supposed to share the data we share with them. They will pay us. So it's been since 2021, they've never paid. And that's what we use to maintain our systems and everything. So we had to, after several letters that was written to them, they couldn't come back. And we had our option to disconnect them. But the good news is that their board chairman, that's Honorable Ricket Hagan, approached my board chairman that is Honorable Afechi Moses, and they had a talk. After that, the GRA boss also contacted me. So I think we are good now.
So what was the resolve?
No, they are willing to pay. So I'm sure by ending of this month we will have a good news from them.
So doesn't mean you've connected them back?
No, we've not connected them back for now.
What's happening to because I remember when you disconnected them, it left some importers and exporters stranded at the port. So what's happening?
Still the same. Until they make some payment. But as I told you, they are willing to settle down, and we know we need to. It's government to government, so we need to sit down at the table and discuss. It happened that
timeline
by close of this month. They should be paying. In fact, they've even written to us to even do more, provide them with more services. So, in good faith, why not? We are willing to settle down with them. Yes.
Well, pressure is mounting on government to act as fears of a looming maize shortage grows. At Ejura, bags of maize are rotting away as farmers struggle to find buyers. Weeks without rain have worsened the situation, leaving farmlands parched and forcing many producers to consider abandoning cultivation for next season. But Emmanuel Bradkweku visited the community and he's been speaking to some of the farmers.
It's Monday morning at Ejura, one of Ghana's largest trading hubs for cereals and grains. From groundnut and beans to rice and maize, the market supplies thousands of households across Ghana and beyond. But in recent times, maize has seen a sharp decline in sales. The fresh maize sells at 500 cedis, and the old ones go for 450. These new prices, coupled with a reclining market sale, are presenting challenges to the maize value chain. The farmers and traders are not enthused as they are seen all over haggling the new prices. Farming is a lifeline of Ejura and its surrounding communities. On a scorching afternoon, Idrisu Mumuni and his family are busy drying freshly harvested maize. They spread the grains across a tarpaulin, relying on sun and air to reduce the moisture content. With no storage facilities, the family must rush to package and sell the maize on the next market day. But for Idrisu, the returns hardly match the efforts he invests in production. The maize business isn't good enough. For rich farmers, they're able to keep theirs. But for us who have no storage facility, we must sell immediately. After the 2024 dry spell, the price of maize has fallen by more than half, from 1,200 cedis to just 400 cedis on the market. Yet, with production costs soaring, the sharp decline has left many farmers frustrated and delusioned. Ghana experiences a glut of maize during the main crop season from June to September, but despite the bustle and noise of the crowded Ejura market, traders say business has been slow and their pockets tell the story. It looks as if stealing is better than farming. Every time they are talking about cocoa, they would neglect us. Our work is more hectic than the co-farmers. Frustration on the market is preempting the farmers from producing more. While some have opted to hoard the maize at home, others are compelled to leave the heaps of their maize harvest on their farms at the mercy of the weather. Salifu Al-Samin farms on this 40-acre maize plantation.
Once we sent home, we've not been able to sell it. So there's no reason going to add this one.
I can see they are even rotting away.
Yes, of course. We've covered it because we anticipate there might be rain.
Former Member of Parliament for Ejura, Mohammed Isifu Pangabu, is one of the lead farmers in the community.
No farmer can break even with 400. No farmer.
This year, lots of farmers will lose their...
All farmers are losing. Our parents are lost. So if you don't take time to address it, and we'll lose this year. Next year, the farmers will reduce.
As the traders endure the slow market, a pressing concern emerges: delayed rains.
For the past 2 weeks, we have not experienced any major rain.
This is felt on the fields where the soils are drying up already before farmers can plant for the next season. Salifu Al-Samin was fortunate to have started cultivating on his 40-acre farmland.
As you can see, there is drought. If you look around, farmers have harvested their maize, but yet still they can't plant. Initially, if there was rainfall, if you plant your maize at this time, you are late. We cannot be sitting here without feeding our family. We are not lazy too. We are working.
But until an immediate intervention, these farmers may have to grapple with the poor market sales and struggle to feed the country. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Brightkweku.
Well, traders affected by the fire at the Adum Blue Light Markets have welcomed a decision by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to allow them to rebuild the market. A rampaging fire on March 21, 2025 touched the markets as wares and structures housing the traders were destroyed in the fire. A decision by the city authorities to lead the rebuilding effort was met with strong resistance by the traders, who insisted they wanted to self-fund the reconstruction. The head of physical planning at KMA, Benjamin Ajini Boatem, tells Joy the assembly has reached an agreement to allow the traders to reconstruct the market pending an approval of the technical drawing and specification provided by the authorities.
Hundreds of shops and stores were razed in a fire at the Blue Light Market. Wares running into thousands of cedis were lost to the fire, including mobile phones and accessories, jewelry and clothing. The area was cordoned as the traders counted their loss in anticipation of rebuilding the market. But the affected traders resisted the local assembly's attempt to rebuild the market for them. Head of Physical Planning at KMA, Benjamin Ajini Boatin, says the traders have been given the green light to rebuild the market themselves, while the traders are expected to self-fund the project. City authorities, on the other hand, will provide the technical support, including designs.
Blue Light and govt fire, and traders want to go back and redevelop and have some form of livelihood. So Mayor, when it happened, the king wasn't around. After he came, Mayor went there to brief the king. The king has given green light to some of the few things that we can do. So currently what we are doing now, I think, of course, the site has been cleared. They are done with drains, and then we are trying to see how best we can have fire-resistant materials and fire prevention equipment as part of the design, so that in the event of any fire, it will be the effect will be minimal. Yes. So currently, that's what I've engaged the traders severally. Almost every week, they are in my office. They want to go to site as quickly as possible. They are going to build it themselves. They've submitted a list of contractors, and we are discussing with them, and then we advise them as to which one they should pick for the reconstruction. Currently, my office is doing the designs, and then once we are done, we'll give the work schedule to the contractors, and then they will come out with their own bills and materials that they are going to use.
The traders have welcomed the new arrangement by the city authority. This is the leader of the Adum Brew Light traders.
Assembly CN, Yani Kumasi Kropon Bejana, Satana Regional Minister, and I know na you may know my. In fact, a modern beer so bubia or moboy, and what she and I may on so by. Mayo crowns, Satam Yan Fan, we see a Kunyaso. It will no crowns knock on a pioneer, Viana and a junior, and never here. And he Nibisia Kunyaso, so Onyaim, Omia Tias, Omama Quine, say Yamra, Assassins, and Metra, as Suntino, or the Emma engineers a workroom. It is a much engineers nominee a year drinks in Tembiano Ba, Ebeshanti, Yannick me phone or Montamoni dear. Problem being was he say. Now the acquaintance say, yes, a per se, Casayisi, Yadi, if he say, you says a cassa de trouble and swap. Kajitia dear, crew from dear one in our intimacy, and Mutia say my the air Chinese say, from town country from Eddie, drawings in my contractors. Now, oh my year, now you know, Kusiaho, near share the office a bit more boy, any Juma, yeah.
The KMA is currently awaiting the selection of a contractor to start the reconstruction process. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oyemeteria reporting.
And we'll take a short break here on the pause and return with more on the program. Welcome back to the program now. Something big is happening. President Mahama has set a 24-month deadline for the completion of the Dawenya-Afenya-Dodowa Road Project, one of the key initiatives under the government Big Push infrastructure program. The contractor, Oswald Investments Limited, has however indicated that the work will be completed ahead of schedule. We can listen to the president when he cut the salt at Afenya a while ago.
Manifesto promise upon which the people of Ghana voted for us in 2024. Indeed, I remember when I went to the palace of one of our traditional rulers during the campaign. And he told me, he said, President Mama, we will vote for you. But if we vote for you, if you don't do anything else, just fix all the roads in Ghana for us, and we'll be satisfied. And so that had stuck in my head since. And so from January 7th, we've been packaging, designing road projects across the length and breadth of the country. The Big Push touches all the 16 regions in this country. Every region is going to benefit from its share of the Big Push programs. Now somebody will ask, what's the criteria for choosing those projects? Our first priority was to take roads that connect one regional capital to another. We believe that it should be easy for people to travel from one capital to another capital. So it should be easy for people to travel from Accra to the capital of the Volta region. It should be easy for people to travel from Accra to the capital of the Cape Coast Central region. It should be easy for people to travel from the Upper West capital, Wa, to the Upper East capital, Bolgatanga. So that was our first priority. Then our second priority was to select roads that link district to district. We have 261 districts in Ghana. And so we believe that districts that are adjoining should have good roads linking their district capitals to each other. Then the third priority was to give priority to food producing areas and industrial manufacturing areas. So we selected all the food growing areas, major food growing areas in the country, and we looked at the roads in those areas and we targeted them and added them to the Big Push. So that has been the criteria with which we have selected the roads. Today's sword cutting is the first, but we're going to cut sword in 5 different areas to mark the start of the whole Big Push program. And so today, the people of Afenya, Dawenya, Dodowa, you are making history by being first to kick off the whole Big Push program. We've gone through a very rigorous procedure to choose the contractors who will work on the Big Push projects. And that is because we believe that quality and speed is important. And so we've gone through all the contractors. We've looked at their capacity. Does he have an asphalt plant? How many asphalt plants does he have? Does he have enough dump trucks to be able to move the gravel? Does he have enough graders to spread it? Does he have enough rollers to compact the road? The quality of a road depends on compaction. If you compact it well and you put the bitumen on it, the road will last forever. But in some cases, contractors are in a hurry, so they just compact the sub-base loosely and then they put the quota on it. In a few months, when heavy trucks pass on it, before you see the road is failing, is sinking. We don't want that in the big push. So, majority of the contractors selected for the big push are Ghanaian contractors, because we believe that we must build the capacity of our own contractors. We believe in the performance and ingenuity of the Ghanaian contractor. And so several of our contractors have the same capacity as any foreign contractor. And so that is how we have selected them. There are a few wheelbarrow contractors who have come to me. Oh, I hear they're distributing projects under the big push. I want one. I said, my friend, this is not for wheelbarrow contractors. You are my friend, but I won't give you because it's not for wheelbarrow contractors. And so we also have selected a few foreign contractors, because before we came into office, some of the contractors had been given active contracts, and the contracts had not been terminated. And so what we've done is, even though those projects were ongoing, we have repackaged them and added them to the big push so that we can continue them and finish them quickly. Today's short cutting covers the following areas: the Dawenya, Afienya, Dodowa Road. During the campaign, towards the closing days of the campaign, I passed on this road, and I myself saw how the road was. And I remember we held a rally at Afienya, and I made a definite promise to the people that when I come, if there's one road I'll start first, is the Afienya, Dawenya, Dodowa Road. So today is promise delivered, promise made, promise delivered. This shortcutting also covers the first phase of the Tema-Aflao Road, the dualization of the Tema-Aflao Road. And so the shortcutting covers that too. Then it also covers the dualization of the Ashaman-Asichari Road. That one is already ongoing. There's a contractor on it. And so the road will continue. It also covers Oyibi, Apollonia, Afienya Road. Then we also have Dodowa, Somanya, and Somanya Town roads. And then we have Shire Hills, Doriumu to Dodowa Road. There are other roads in Greater Accra that have stalled. And as I said, we've packaged them. They were ongoing roads, but the contractors have not been paid for a long time. So most of them have demobilized. So we've repackaged them and added them to the big push. And this includes, for those of you who know, Domi Kitasi Road. That is a road that goes from Domi Kwabinya, and then you go through and you appear on the hill at Ashesi University. Kitasi, yes. Then, as you know, about a week ago, I was on the Ofanko Sawam Road. We have added that to the big push. The contractor has been giving money. Work is progressing satisfactorily. We also have the ongoing Adenta Dodowa Road dualization. We have captured that under the big push. I think that's one of Oswald's projects too. Adenta Dodowa Road. We've captured that in the big push. Then we have the beach road from Black Star Square to Tema. It's also captured under the big push roads. It's popularly called the beach road. Yeah, that one too has been captured. Now the contractor on this road, as I said, is Oswald Investments Limited. And I can say with my hand on my heart that he is one of our best local contractors. The good thing is he works with speed. He works very fast, but he doesn't compromise quality. And so I want to assure the people of Dodowa, Afienya, Dawenya that you have on your road one of the best Ghanaian contractors doing your road. We've given him 24 months to finish, but he has whispered in my ear that he'll do it in shorter than 24 months. And I want to assure him that payments will not be a problem. This year, the Minister of Finance, on my instruction, put aside 13.9 billion cedis, almost 14 billion, for the big push alone. Much of that money has not been used yet because we were still packaging and going through procurement. And so we're going to roll over that money to next year. And next year, we're going to add 30 billion cedis to the 14 billion cedis. And that's why I say payments will...
All right, so that's President Mahama there. This was the sword cutting ceremony at Afienya. Now, he's just arrived in the Volta Regional Capital Hall, where another sword cutting ceremony is expected to happen in some few minutes from now. Tugba Fede is already speaking ahead of the sword cutting ceremony. I can take you live there now and listen in.
And two, we are going to see the beginning of the solution to know that inadequacy of our road infrastructure is not a matter for the Volta region alone. That is why I said it's good news for the country as a whole. So, Your Excellency, we thank you very much for this day. We thank you for a big push, a big, bold $10 billion vision that will find solution to our greatest developmental challenge. I want to thank you very much for supporting the private sector also to develop, to deliver its share of the solution. Certainly this is not a problem for government alone to carry. The private sector is very important in this journey. And that is why I'm grateful for the support you have given to the pilot training school that we are building in Ho. And I'm also happy for, personally, the support you are giving to Asogli Power that is about to commence the development of another 830 megawatt power project. Thanks to your support. I want to ask that we all accept this as a collective responsibility. Let us all support the government to deliver on its promise so that we can enjoy the promise of more jobs, the promise of more growth, and the promise of more equitable development. I'm sure that this big initiative, complemented by exciting ideas, exciting policies such as the 24-hour economy, will deliver the development that we all aspire for, will deliver the Ghana that we all want. and Ghana can continue to be an example to all of Africa. Once again, Your Excellency, on behalf of the people of the region, on behalf of our chiefs and queen mothers, I welcome you to Ho. I welcome you to this event, and I wish you success as you pursue this difficult task of delivering development to the people of Ghana. Thank you very much.
Right, so that's the ongoing program to also cut short for some road construction works in the Volta region, and you heard the Togwe affair there. When the president is up and ready to speak, we'll take you live to the place. But before we do that, the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, is leading a charge for the fight against corruption, which he says has become a threat to Ghana's democracy. He bemoaned how the canker has become endemic and creeping into children at basic schools, as exposed in the latest Joy News probe into latest documentary on examination of practice in the 2025 BEC. We will hear from him shortly. But first, listen to a member of the new National Ethics Anti-Corruption Action Plan Committee, Barry Ada, bemoans Ghana's decline on the anti-corruption index and the need for a comprehensive plan to address it.
According to Transparency International, where I work with as the chapter in Ghana, corruption remains an existential threat, and Ghana's fight against it has not been that effective, evidenced by the various scores in the past 5 years, citing 2020 to 2023, where Ghana scored 43, and in 2024, Ghana scored 42. This stagnation and decline is evident that corruption remains an insidious obstacle to equitable development, investor confidence, and citizens' trust in the governance process. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why the new National Ethics and Anti-Corruption Action Plan 2026 to 2030 is so crucial. It must not simply be a statement of our ideals, but should encompass the inclusive, practical, and measurable indicators by which all citizens would track to ensure delivery.
Staff has also been speaking on the matter of corruption and how, if not dealt with, can threaten Ghana's democracy.
Previous NACAP from 2015 to 2024 taught us valuable lessons, especially about the dangers of underfunding and weak political commitment. That is why NACAP 2026 to 2020 has been placed directly under the Office of the President to ensure that implementation is not just monitored, but also prioritized. Yes, government resources are limited. We face daily demands to fund health, education, roads, housing, and other critical sectors. But we must recognize that corruption prevention is not a competing priority. It is a fundamental one that ought to be achieved. If we fail to protect our resources, we will never have enough to build the schools, hospitals, and roads our people deserve. We will never create the decent jobs for our youth. We will never realize the 24-hour economy as we envision. Recent events, including the exam malpractice as exposed by Joy FM, reminds us that ethical decay is not confined to our institutions only. It is creeping into our homes, our schools, and our future. That is why ethics must be central to the new plan, not just as a policy, but as a national culture. Let me be clear. This government is committed to founding this National Ethics and Anti-Corruption Action Plan, because founding ethics and anti-corruption is not a cost. It is an investment.
Well, the Central Regional Security Coordinating Council has also begun collaboration with other regions to flush out all illegal miners on water bodies and forest reserve. The Galamsey activities of illegal miners have led to closure of the Kwanyako treatment plant, resulting in water shortage. The regional minister, Eko Penyin Ochre Eduamwa, has been speaking to journalists in Parliament.
Talking about making sure that the water bodies are clean. If I maintain ISU at the southern part from Kwanyako to Winneba, and somebody is destroying it upstreams, what do I do to it? So we are trying to have links with other ministers to ensure that we get things done and done well. In fact, the fight for Galamsey is not something that one person can handle. It should be a collective, effort, and I implore that all of us to put our strength to that to ensure that we get this done. I always urge the media to tell the people that what is happening, if we do not, change our ways, it has become an attitudinal issue where people think that the only way to get money to go inside the water body to, get the gold and the diamonds. So I think that it's a fight that government is doing it, but by citizens might change their attitude and ensure that we all get clean water for our consumption. I know that efforts are in place to ensure that they are flushed up of that area so that those activities cannot continue. And so that's the first thing we should do, to ensure that they are not there to destroy the water body.
Well, he says some drastic changes have also been considered in the construction of future dams that serve the Ghana Water Company Limited.
I think that part of the river was actually open for it to store and block in a way for it to store more water for the treatment purposes. But I think that if we're going to have a reservoir that is closer to the river so that we direct the river when we need excess water, like the Dinsu River, then even where we have problems like this one, the reservoir can be used. That is not the picture at Kwanyako. And so while the main source is affected, we do not have any other reservoir that has enough water for treatment for the consumption of the people. And so the next time we are thinking about, in the future, we are thinking about having a dam, having a treatment facility, having a waterworks like this. I think we should go the way that will have, at all time, will have a reservoir that can give us water at any time.
Well, aside the Galamsey fight, the minister has also been giving some updates on the ongoing dualization of the Kaswa-Winneba Highway.
Now, for about 6 months now, I think the contractor is improving. Earlier, it was too bad. I thought that the contractor was actually not, adhering to, ethics, in the sense that people were struggling too much and number of people who were complaining. A lot of businesses were lost and other things. But I went there and actually complained to him as a minister that I was much more concerned about the complaints that we were receiving. So he changed the way he was handling matters. I also think that was the early stages when the earthworks were being done. Now he's gotten to some percentage of completion, and I believe that will open up the roads for people to use. And now that the governance are happening, is actually giving us access, and when you go, you can see now that it's better now. The flow is now easier than the earlier time that he wanted to start the whole project.
Let's take a short break here on the pause and return with more. Right, so that's our show for today. My name is Elton Robe. Let me cross you over now to the Volta Regional Capital Hall, where President Mahama is cutting sword for the big push, the Volta Regional version of it.
Year in, year out, the chiefs have cried for repair and maintenance of their roads. Roads that were commenced at a time when we were in office before 2016 were abandoned from 2016 and have not seen any maintenance over the years. And so, I packed on. Atiavi Road, Metrikasa, all those roads. And so, Kwame Agoja was surprised when he borrowed the list of roads And I know every road. So he brought the list. I looked at Volta region roads. I said, but this one is not there. Okay, I'll add it. But this one is not there. This one is not there. This one is not there. By the time he finished, the list was as long as this. And so there are several roads that we're going to work on simultaneously. And as we said, at Impoku Ho, Hoa Flower are roads that we are going to work on. There's not going to be delay in payment. The big push is a $10 billion project. If you convert that into cedis, it is 120 billion cedis over 4 years. We started this year with enough money to start paying them because we realized that the packaging and everything will take almost half of the year. And so this year, the finance minister allocated 14 billion cedis to the big push. So all these roads that are starting, the money is sitting in the account and waiting to pay them. And next year, I've spoken with the minister, and he's allocating 30 billion cedis to the big push. So contractors, have no fear, go full steam ahead. The finance minister has promised that for every big push contractor who brings a certificate, he will receive his money within 2 weeks. We are setting up a big push secretariat, which will be under the auspices of the Office of the President. We're going to have engineers and others working there, and we're going to keep monitoring the progress of all the projects. So they will visit the projects regularly from time to time at every stage to see the status of the project. They will take pictures, they will take videos, and so I'll be sitting in my office and I can see what First Car is doing on the Hoa Flower Road. I can see what Oswald is doing on the Afienya Dodowa Road. Every contractor working on every road in this country, I'll sit in Accra at the Flagstaff House and I'll see the work they are doing. So let me apologize to Ghanaians. The big push projects have been allocated in such a way that no contractor will take 24 months to complete, because we haven't given any contractor too long a stretch that will take him too much time. We've broken it up into pieces so that every contractor can work quickly and then they join their portions together. So let me apologize to Ghanaians. From the launch of this big push here, the whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. The whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. So bear with the contractors. When you are driving, there will be some inconvenience because the road work will be going on. But know that we are suffering to gain. So let's bear the inconvenience. If the contractors put signs that we must follow, let's not get irritated. Let's follow the signs that the contractors have given. And I urge the constructors, because you are going to be working and we're paying you, the construction industry is going to grow. There are a lot of young, enterprising Ghanaians who have graduated as civil engineers, as different kinds of engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, who are sitting at home and not doing any job. Please open up your recruitment and recruit these young people for me. Recruit my younger brothers and sisters so that they can start to work. We have given priority We have given priority to Ghanaian contracting companies because we believe that Ghanaian companies can do as well as foreign companies. And so you are lucky because First Sky has been working in this country for years. Everybody knows him. And I can tell you that First Sky is one of the best Ghanaian construction companies available. And so once we put First Sky on this road, you can be sure that he will do a good job. It is in his interest, because if he does the Antipoku and Yerase whole road, his hotel, Volta Serene, will get more customers because it will be easier to drive to Ho. But like I said, he's a good contractor, so he will do a good job. But let me just conclude with some of the roads that we have captured for Volta region. And as we said, we have Aveji Metrikasa Road, Atiavi Road, rehabilitation of Asikuma Junction, Anirawase, reconstruction of Anirawasi, Ho Titrinu, to Ho Guinness Depot, to Ho Airport Second Gate, rehabilitation of Ho Petoi Afia Deniba, including Ziope Town roads, upgrading of Adaklu Tefe Waya Kayime Road, Abuedi Kodiabe Road, upgrading of Asiekwe Road, upgrading of Ziope Toda Road, construction of Waya Police Station, Hehekpoi Road, rehabilitation of Sokode to Juapon Road, rehabilitation of Anirawase Bamekpeve Road, rehabilitation of Afia Denigba Penny Road, dualization of Georgetown roads, reconstruction of Have Hohoe Road, selected roads in Ho Municipality, selected roads in Hohoe Municipality, selected roads in Ketu North and Ketu South, upgrading of Tanyigwe Town roads, upgrading of Voje Jakpo Feeder Road, upgrading of Adaklu Seva Junction Mafikumasi Road, upgrading of Abutia Teti Jakpo Road, Vakpo Wusu Ho Barracks Takla Hojo Tokokwe Road, Tajevu Divego Agove Junction Road, Adakluk Pechu Dokpo Feeder Road, and sport improvement of Podwave Junction to Podwave Feeder Road. These are a few of the roads that have been captured as priority roads, and you will see contractors on them in the shortest possible time. I thank you all. May God bless us all.
Kina amiga dakpe gare na gana duklola. Ifwasi kole gare na gana duklola.